Hey, in this lesson, we'll be covering 3 easy lead guitar songs for beginners. We're going to be covering everything from ACDC to Audioslave to The Ventures. So, stick around for this lesson. My name is Will Ripley, and this is Campfire Guitar Star. All right, so my 3 easy lead guitar songs for you today. We're going to go into Thunderstruck by ACDC. And so on. We're going to go into Wipeout by The Ventures. Okay, which is also going to teach you a 12-bar blues. And then we're also going to go into Be Yourself by Audioslave, and that's what you heard me play there on the intro. So just before we hop in, make sure you download the tabs to this lesson. You'll find all that information below in the description and in the comments. And if you don't know how to read tabs, well, no worries, because we'll link you to a video where we'll show you all about reading tab. Okay? So basically, you're going to be able to know exactly where to put your fingers, and really from there, it's just about practicing, okay? So let's go ahead and hop into this lesson together and see if we can rip it up. So the very first one that I wanted to go over, and it may look really intimidating or scary, which is Thunderstruck by ACDC. You know, that crazy fast part, but it's so iconic, and when that song comes on, you know, you can't help to just get kind of pumped up, right? So it's actually pretty easy. All right, so let's go ahead and just find the frets. So it's just on 4th fret and 7th fret with an open string basically in between the notes on the B string, okay? And I'll show you a little hack here on, we're gonna actually end up playing the riff on the E string when we start doing the pull off, and it's a little easier there, so just stick with me here. So let's find the notes first. So 4th fret and the 7th fret of the B string, okay? So 4th fret and the 7th fret. And so what we're going to do is we're basically just playing an open string in between those notes. So we're going to start here, play an open B string, and then 7th fret with your pinky. And then you're starting again, okay? So that's really it. It's just kind of really 3 notes, okay? So 4th fret, open, 7th. Now, believe it or not, I've actually seen Angus Young from ACDC play it this exact way, where he's picking each note. Now, I can't even play it that fast. I got to work on that. But on the actual original recording of Thunderstruck by ACDC, he's certainly doing a pull-off, okay? But just for kicks, just so we get the notes, why don't you just go ahead and just see how fast you can do that yourself. Of course, we want to be able to play it clean and in time, but it would look something like this. And if you can play it way faster, then that's all good too. Okay? And then quite simply, all we want to do is just move that whole phrase up to, like we just +1 on everything. 4 + 1, we move up to 5, and the 7 + 1, we're going to move to 8. So 5 and 8. Okay, so then we just do that exact same thing with the exact same fingers, the exact same everything. But also we have all this new tension. We've got some new notes in there, but it's the exact same thing. So just go ahead and see how fast you can pick that. Okay, so that's really kind of Thunderstruck in a nutshell. And like I said, I've seen live footage of when Angus actually plays it like that, picked note for note. And it has a cool effect, and you should certainly put that to a metronome, work on that, keep track of your speeds. Make sure to check out our other videos on practicing scales effectively and practicing guitar with the metronome. Those are some videos we just released lately. But yeah, check those out. But anyways, so now let's talk about the pull-off, because that's really the technique that's going on in the original recording. So instead of picking each note, we're actually going to hit the first note, And instead of picking it with our right hand, we essentially pick it with our left hand by pulling our finger off the 4th fret. So that's just one pick, and I twist my finger and pull it off so that the tip of my left finger, or the tip of my fretting hand, ends up making the note, okay? And it's the exact same thing with the pinky finger. So right off the hop here, let's go ahead and actually practice this on the high E string. Okay, it's just much easier there because, so go ahead and find the 4th and 7th fret of the high E string, because now when we do the pull off, we can pull off and we're not going to accidentally hit any other strings. So okay, and you can take it as slow as you need. But yeah, so it's 4, pull off, 7, pull off, okay? And practice this on the high E string, because like I said, if you practice it on the B string, you kind of risk hitting those other strings. And so just to get the pull off down, you can go ahead and try it on the high E string, okay? So that's kind of like my Thunderstruck hack for you, okay? And like I said, there's a couple different ways you could play it. You could play it picked. You can play it with this pull off. And you can even test yourself just with your straight legato, which is once you hit the first one, just see how long you can keep that going. So you can see I'm not doing anything with my right hand. That's all left hand, hammer on, pull off, right? So that's kind of fun too. Okay, so maybe you're wondering how many times do you actually play this? Well, I kind of think of it as groups of 8. Okay, so we've got this phrase 4 and 7. If you go ahead and count each time you hit your first finger as 1, and then count all the way to 8. So it would look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, when you learn to play that faster, then it doesn't last so long, right? Okay, and just one more trick. So like I mentioned, you want to get the pull-offs happening on the high string. Because it's a little easier to practice those pull-offs without hitting other strings. Okay, but when you actually want to go back to the B string and master actually playing Thunderstruck the way that it's played and in the key that it's in, here's another Thunderstruck hack for you, okay? So what you want to do is, with your right hand, and I've always played it like this, is you want to be able to solo out that B string, again, without hitting other strings, right? So what I do is I actually rest my right hand so that I cover all the other strings, including the G string, with my thumb, okay? And I actually reach up and over top. I like make a little bridge and touch the E string, okay? And then, so when I'm ripping on Thunderstruck, there's no risk of hitting any other strings or allowing them to ring, because I've just basically got them all covered with my right hand. Okay, so you'll see that the high E string especially, okay, and that's the whole reason that we were doing it on the high E string, okay, was to avoid the string closer to the floor. So when you go back to the B string, I'm just touching my third and my pinky finger, maybe sometimes my second finger too, just like totally getting that string covered with the right hand, so it doesn't hit the wrong strings or allow the strings to ring, right? So then that will allow you to just isolate that B string. So even if you do actually hit the high E string a little bit, it's just going to sound nice and clean and clear. Okay, so that's the whole sequence, okay? And that's the whole technique that's going on in Thunderstruck, okay? There's also this descending bit. I'm just going to go ahead and play this relatively quickly because we got 2 more solos to get into in this lesson, and I don't want to drag this on too long. So make sure to get the PDF download that's going to have the tab. And once you get this motion, the 4 pull 7 pull 4 pull 7 pull, get that nice and steady and slow, and then gradually speed it up so it's nice and fast and sounding tight and sounding clean. Then this whole sequence that starts on the 12th fret uses the exact same technique, the exact same everything. Okay, it's the same string, but it's just this different sequence of notes. Okay, so here's what that looks like. I'll just play it a few times nice and slow and just follow along with that tab. You'll be fine, all right? So starting at the 12th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you'd like me to go into more parts of Thunderstruck, definitely leave me a comment below to let me know how you made out with the intro to Thunderstruck, and of course, if you want me to dig into more of those parts. But yeah, like I said, just get that first part down, get it solid, and then tackle the descending part starting from the 12th fret. Follow the tab notes, you'll be fine. So the key with Thunderstruck is really to just take it slow, get the technique down first, just get that motion down, because that's all it is. It's just a very simple motion, but just played very quickly. And of course, it just sounds insanely impressive to us guitarists and to our listeners. So it's definitely a one to wow your audiences, definitely. Okay, so the next easy lead guitar song that we're going to break into here is Wipeout by The Ventures. So this is a really cool kind of surf rock guitar style tune, very recognizable, very catchy, but also it just follows what we call a 12-bar blues. So, which is so fundamental across surf rock, as we can see in the Ventures song here, but also in blues, of course, and in rock. Okay, so learning the 12-bar blues is going to be awesome. This is a super fun song. It's going to be great for your fingers. Just a ton of good stuff going on in this track. So, of course, you'll find the tabs in the PDF download below. But let's just go ahead and find out where these notes are. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the low E string. And so we're going to climb up. So 3rd fret on the low E string, and then 1, 2, 3 on the A string, okay? And then if you just get that riff in your head, boom, boom, down, 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 okay? Then you want to just find those notes, which are here. And instead of going down to the 2nd fret, we're gonna skip that and go to the 1st fret, okay? And then back to our starting point, okay? And that's it. So we got 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. So the actual phrase itself is very short, and it's just this. Okay, and that's it. That's the start and the end of it. Okay, so that's the part that you want to get. Now the trick is with this one is to play each riff the correct amount of times, and that will solidify your 12-bar blues sequence, okay? So we're going to play this first riff 4 times. 2, 3, Okay, and we're gonna stop there. We just play that note once, okay? And we're gonna roll that finger over, okay, and start on the 3rd fret of the A string, but play the exact same riff just on the A string and the D string. Okay? And we're gonna play that riff twice. So let's go ahead and hit it. Me and you, 3rd fret of the A string. Ready, go. Again, when we do the switch, we only hit that last note once, just a quick, and you're gonna roll that 3rd finger back to the 1st riff, okay? We're gonna play this 1st riff twice, okay? So here we go, ready, go. Okay, so now we're gonna play a very similar riff up on the 5th fret, and this is just a little bit different, but it's very, very similar, you'll see. So okay, so that last little sequence is a little bit kind of just, there's just more notes going on and things like that. So definitely, maybe you want to pause the video right here, roll back and work your way just through these first beginning riffs, because that's really, you know, the iconic part of Wipeout. Okay, so this 3rd part, nice and slow. Again, probably the tabs are gonna help you a ton, but see if you can follow along and play along. 5th fret of the A string is your starting point. We could play a very similar riff to the 1st and 2nd position, but now we're just starting from the 5th fret of the A string. Here we go. So that's really the only thing that's out so far, is just once you complete the riff starting from the 5th fret of the A string, you do a descending line from the 5th fret of the D string, and that's going to get you back into the 2nd riff, but you're playing it with your 1st finger right now, okay? So you're going to go descend down a 3rd fret, and to get into the 2nd position, or the 2nd riff that we covered, you're going to want to slide that 1st finger from 3rd fret of the D string down to 1st fret of the D string. Okay, so that descending line again. And into the 1st one. And that's the only other switch there too, is just the very bow, bow. And he actually does a cool little, just a G chord strum. And that you can actually play a G chord with one finger here, mute the A string, got a D, G, and B string open, and those are the strings that you're focusing on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually completely and absolutely and totally a G major chord with one finger. It's pretty awesome. Okay, and the other thing to know about this riff is that these first few notes, those are what you call pickup notes. So really, this is your first note on the first beat. So when we count it in, it'll be like 1, 2. Okay, so just a heads up on that, because I want you to play with me here. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4. Here we go. Okay, and those chords, in case you're interested, we just get a C major chord, okay, to a F major chord, which you can play like this. Okay, and that's what the drums are going, and the guitar's just doing the shots, but if you want to test your 12-bar blues knowledge, see if you can hit those chords in the right spot. So we got 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Switch. And then back. And then you go up to the 10th fret. Okay, so that's actually the 12-bar blues sequence. Those 3 chords, but placed appropriately, will really, really help you with a ton of music, okay? All right, so this brings us to our third easy lead guitar song. And this was the riff that I was playing on the beginning, which was Be Yourself by Audioslave. And the really big part with this solo, I know I don't have a camera on my wah-wah pedal, but I'm sure you can hear it. You know, super, super classic effect used by Tom Morello from Audioslave, Jimi Hendrix. So I was just kind of playing Voodoo Child there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that you don't have a wah-wah pedal, but if you do, or if you get one down the road, then just know that this single string riff in this lead guitar song, you just sweep the wah pedal each time with each one of these notes. Okay, otherwise without the wah-wah pedal, it sounds like. Okay, so anyways, so as you can see, I'm just playing on one string. I'm playing on the A string. I'm starting from the 2nd fret. And go ahead and, you know, it always helps when you're trying to learn songs. Maybe just pause the video, go on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, and just search Audioslave Be Yourself, fast forward and find that solo, and you'll find out that it's actually pretty like hummable. You can sing along with it. You'll be, before you know it, you'll be going down, 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 and you'll be singing along with the whole solo. Tom Morello was really good at that. Okay, so again, we're starting on the 2nd fret of the A string, and we're really just going up a minor scale here, believe it or not. So we're starting on a B note, and we're gonna go 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4. Okay, so that's the first part of a minor scale. So we got. So just a slight variation there. So that part again. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 2, 4, 5, 7, 5, 4, 2, 0. Okay. Very similar part coming up next. Okay, so we're really going almost all the way up the scale. So 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9, 7, 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay? So just some very melodic one-string motions. It doesn't really matter too much about what fingers you're using. You'll see that I'm switching between my 3rd finger and then up here I was going 10, 9, 10, 9 with my 1st and 2nd finger. So just make sure that you're switching fingers. You're not playing it all with one finger, which, you know, maybe you can, but it's just, you know, to play proper lead guitar, you're definitely going to want to incorporate some other fingers, right? Okay, so that brings us up to here. Let's just go ahead and see if we can tackle that part together nice and slow. Bow, wow, wow, wow. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so now we're going to move into the more complex part of the solo. Okay, So this part is a nice repeated part just on the 7th and 9th frets of the D string. So I'm doing a hammer on there. And then I'm repeating that note. So I'm hammering on into the 9th fret, but then I'm hitting it again. And then I'm switching up to the G string on the 7th fret, and then going back into that 9th fret on the D string, playing it twice. Okay, so it sounds more complex than it is, like the way that I'm speaking and you know, talking about all these numbers and things. It's just this. Okay, and that's the phrase. So you repeat that a few times. Okay, nice little lick there, okay? And then we've got this fast little part that goes, we're continuing up the B minor pentatonic scale here, by the way. So we're gonna go 7, 9, 7, 10, and then you go back down that. So here's that last little phrase. Okay, and that happens after this. So we got, so the last two sections that we just went over, so we'll start with this lick. So here we go, 1, 2, ready, go. And here it comes. All right, so now we're ready for the next part. It's very similar. Okay, very, very similar, as you can see. So we're hammering on. Exact same there, but then we're just doing the exact same thing on the G string. Okay. So there's a few different ways that you can play this. I always thought it sounded cool to add in this lick right here. Okay. So you can see I'm doing what you call a double stop on the 9th and 10th fret of the G string and B string. You know, you get that kind of country sound. Okay, and you can see I'm gearing up all 3 fingers to do those bends and have them like a nice strong figure behind that bend. Okay, you can also do something like this. And why don't we focus on that just for right now? This is kind of a, you know, an equally classic lick, but a little bit easier. So you're going to gear up your 3rd finger to cover the 9th frets of the G string and the B string. So get this sound first, find those 2 notes, and what you're going to want to do is get your 2nd and 1st finger behind there again, so you can do it bend. Okay, super, super classic lick right there. Okay, so what that looks like is, and that's the final ending bit of the Be Yourself solo. So again, gear up those couple notes, and here comes the bends, the licks. Okay, and your final note, pinky finger, 10th fret of the A string, okay? So let's go ahead and rock this whole solo together without the wah-wah pedal, but it sure sounds pretty awesome when you do get the wah-wah pedal engaged. So we'll take it nice and slow. Bow, wow, 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 1, 2, ready, go. All right, and then of course, what you eventually want to be able to do is play all these songs with the actual recordings, okay? So nothing beats working hard with a metronome or some sort of software that will actually slow down the music for you, okay? And those things are out there. But let me know what you guys thought of this lesson. Are these some easy lead guitar songs or what? Okay, so do leave me a comment below. Let me know how you made out with these. Definitely download the PDF, get all the tabs. If you don't know how to read tabs, we'll make sure to link you to a video on how to read tabs, so you know, because reading tabs are going to help you place your fingers all across the fretboard, and especially in these sequences that we've laid out for you in today's lesson. Okay, so make sure to subscribe, hit that bell if you haven't already, leave us a thumbs up, and like I said, leave us a comment. Definitely check us out over at Campfire or Guitar Star, and in the description below you'll find links to our courses, and which includes also our free beginner guitar system called 5-Minute Guitar, and you can register for that totally free, totally on the house. The whole package is actually valued at $140. I made it free for you as a beginner learning guitar online, and a lot of people are really loving that. So definitely check that out. Let's stay in touch. Let's make you into the guitar player you've always wanted to become. And again, my name is Will Ripley, and let's rock it in the next lesson. Thanks for tuning in.